Colm, you've been bugging me to do the Nike Vapors for 4 weeks now.
Longer than that.
I think because it's Lent and because you're grumpy because you're giving up coffee. How's that going, by the way?
I'm so cranky. I'm so irritable.
Headaches?
Yeah, headaches. It's the headaches. It's like trying to focus on things. It's insane when the addiction takes over like that. It's unbelievable. I'm having to substitute it here with this vitamin drink.
This got very dark very quick. Almost an intervention. So we'll get into the football boots. We're doing the Nike Vapors as part of our Classic Book Club this week. The Nike Mercurials, I call them. But you call them the Vapors.
Yeah, we didn't realise we were talking about the same boot this whole time.
So, 1998, Nike come out with another boot designed for, and I hate this, the real Ronaldo, or Fat Ronaldo, some people call him. It's just Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Just Ronaldo. Brazilian Ronaldo. They come out with this in 1998, going into the 98 World Cup. A little bit of controversy around this World Cup as well. But it's designed for speed, essentially. And many people won't actually know that Ronaldo is that quick. But when he started off, he was lightning quick.
Oh my God. If you watch clips from him when he played for PSV Eindhoven and his sole season at Barcelona, even the start when he was at Inter, like the guy, that was his biggest thing was his burst of acceleration. But because he had so much else going on with his game too, people kind of were distracted by the fact that he was like Theo Walcott fast with Cristiano skill.
It wasn't until after his knee that he turned
Yeah, and he did it twice at Inter. But these boots are, the Nike Mercurials from 1998, if you just show that boot to an entire generation of people, like with so many of these boots in this series, you show this boot to them and they just get instantly nostalgic and remember everything from that era. I don't remember an awful lot of other players really who could pull these off, like wore them or anything else.
No, like
wouldn't dare wear them yourself. Like
we're talking about the late 90s here, so colour.
No, yeah, that's it.
All extravagance was defining of this era, and these boots are kind of similar to that. They're silver with a blue wave going through them. The Nike symbol is yellow, as opposed to the normal black that they would have went up with before this. So this was seen as a sort of alternative to the tempo boots that were for the control. And despite these being for speed, they're still quite... they are thinner than a normal boot back then, but they're still quite thick. Yeah,
they're chunky. Yeah, 250 grams they weighed, which was at the time light and kind of revolutionary. But of course, in retrospect, you're talking 22 years on, they seem quite cumbersome to wear. But to look at, they're amazing. But actually, to look at it, you could walk by them, right? I remember that the Dunn stores used to sell cheap football boots that you could buy, and that's what they look like. If you take away the fact that it's associated with Brazilian Ronaldo, they just look like kind of tacky boots. But because they're associated with him, they look amazing.
Well, funny enough, we actually see the return of this wave now with the Nike runners. I'm not sure, the one with the bubble. I'm not really sure what they call it. You see the young people wearing them.
The young people?
The young people, not me. The young people or flashy people wear them. They're the ones with the real thick bubble at the back.
Yeah.
And they've got that swerve, that wave going through them. I prefer these boots to them. But to make these lighter, they had rubber blades. And rubber blades are never a good idea for me.
No.
Never a good look. They look cheap.
Well, that as well, but I also didn't find them overly practical either on a lot of surfaces.
The only thing they're good for is AstroTurf, because you were never allowed to wear studs on AstroTurf. Cause
I used to wear them.
But rubber blades, or moldies as they're called now.
Moldies, yeah.
That's what made these lighter. And really, Ronaldo is going to define these bits.
Oh, yeah. He's going to define all of them.
What's kind of funny, though, is that as we go on, it's a different Ronaldo that starts to take over. So 2000.
Love these boots.
These ones come through. The Nike Match Mercurials.
Yeah.
So the Vapor hasn't come into this yet. I don't know why you're calling them Vapors. The Match Mercurials, they shaved a massive 20 grams off these. Yeah. They're golden, a little bit less going on, golden boots, little black tick at the back, a little bit of blackness at the heel as well. But these were really nice boots.
They're rearranged sticky quoting, on the instep and on the outside of the boot, on the outside right, say with the right foot, that in order to get a better grip of the ball, so they say, but they're ultimately light boots. I associate these with, again, Brazilian Ronaldo, but particularly his spell with Inter Milan, kind of the second half of that spell, which is what it was when they were released in 2000. So he stayed there until 2002 before signing for Real Madrid. And I associate them those boots with that time period, 2000 to 2002, and Ronaldo's 2 serious knee injuries that he sustained at Inter. These boots were beautiful, right? So the ones that we're looking at are the gold version. There's actually silver versions where it's pretty much all silver, and then the black at the back or at the heel, and then the laces are black too. They look so good.
Well, as
underrated, actually.
You say that you associate Ronaldo with these. Ronaldo had his signature on the back of these as well.
Well, there you go.
So
yeah,
that shows you the esteem that he was held to this period. He was the king.
He was, yeah. And even with the injuries. But I don't remember really anyone who had these boots. And definitely if they were released now, I'd be tempted to invest myself. I think they're brilliant. They're so simple.
Do you know what? They're actually lovely.
And the silver, I don't know if you've seen the silver version, but I think the silver version is so much nicer again than the gold one that we're seeing here. And people listening and watching will know what the silver version are. I'm going to go look at them afterwards.
Who would have wore the silver ones?
It would have been him as well, but
Just
it would have been like Zamorano, his strike partner at Inter, and Christian Vieri. Those type of players would have worn it. Like you're talking attacking players, basically Inter Milan front line.
See, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty things. The types of players that wear Mercurials. Like we discussed this with the Predators.
Is that what all starts?
We did it with the rest of the bits that we've done. The F50s. Certain type of players wear certain type of boots, and there is a distinct type of player that wears the Mercurials, and the clues in the name. Mercurial players.
Yeah,
skillful players, fast players. The players that want to stand out.
Exactly. You are not a quiet type who's wearing them. You're not like Paul Scholes or Dennis Irwin. You're not going to wear Vapors. You're not going to wear Mercurials. You're going to be flashy. Even with the dark versions.
Did you ever have blonde tips in your hair?
I did, yeah, of course I did.
I know you had the Slim Shady fully bleached, but did you have the blonde tips as well?
I did.
So you definitely wore a pair of Vapors.
Yeah, of course I did, yeah. I have it earmarked here. I got the, we'll get to them, the Mercurial Vapor 3 I had a pair of, but we're not there yet. We're only in 2002 now.
2002. This is the first Vapor.
Yeah.
So they're starting to
so good.
Change a little bit. This is just, if anybody wants a pair of boots, they're just simple, basic.
So slick looking.
Yeah. A little bit too thin for my liking, but they're black. They've got a white Nike symbol in the middle. A little bit of the insole is yellow. A little bit of tinge of yellow in the heel as well, and in the studs. The studs are a wee bit longer than they were previously, but this is the fastest Vapor that they came out with it in this period. 2002, before the 2002 World Cup. Mm-hmm. I remember they not only did they have a black version, they had a yellow version.
Oh yeah,
with a bit of a green in it.
Yeah. And
some of the Brazilian players were wearing it at the World Cup.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that was great.
Class.
Again, but you know who I'm going to mention here, because of the World Cup final that year in 2002, was Ronaldo, wore them with his ridiculous haircut.
Ridiculous haircut? I had that haircut.
What? No. The one where the fringe is only left and everything else is a zero?
Yeah.
You did not have that haircut.
I did, yeah. But
there has to be a photo.
You see, it wasn't as bad as that, because obviously he has real thick, curly-ish hair. I had mine, so I would get the haircut, leave the fringe, so you get, say, a 2 all over, keep the fringe. So it's not as dramatic as Ronaldo's, but if you wore it down, the idea is you wore it up, you spiked it up, but if you wore it down, you look...
Oh no, you're going way advanced now. His was like...
No, I know what his was. It was a bald head.
Yeah, but it was like he genuinely missed and like didn't finish the haircut. Whereas you self-styled that way.
I specifically
You definitely had a pair of Vapors by the sounds of this. You definitely had a pair of Vapors.
I had a pair of these Vapors, the Mercurial Vapors.
So here's the thing, right, with these Mercurial Vapors, first one. Amazing to look at. Really sore to wear.
See, that...
They were terrible for your feet. The blisters.
That defines the Vapor era.
Especially around the heel area, into the ankle. I'm actually reading Shoe Dog at the moment by Phil Knight, the inventor of Nike. So everything that in the research for these, when looking at the Vapors, I'm just equating it to the book I'm reading as well at night time, which is like him preparing the next Nike shoe. And this is just not a friendly user experience to wear, but to look at. Like the Vapors for me are all about the aesthetic.
Again, it is almost like the players who wore them.
Yeah.
Great to look at, practically.
They were
not great at times.
The thing was, the Vapors, they were super expensive. They were upwards of €200,
At a time where the normal boot would be 80, 90 quid.
Exactly. I remember there was a guy in school who got them. Like, he wasn't a great player himself, but he invested heavily in these boots. And he got there's a silver version of these, of the Mercurial Vapors, which are the boots that Cristiano Ronaldo wore on his Manchester United debut when he came on against both the Wanderers and famously ripped them apart. They were shiny silver Vapors. They're amazing. And when Ronaldo signed for Real Madrid the summer before, that's what he wore initially when he was at Real Madrid. They were beautiful. And they were synonymous too with like wearing a whole load of tape around your ankle, and almost ankle sock, like deep tape, that you're wearing so much tape, put it up to your, like, to the shin, halfway up your shin on your sock.
This is when you almost see the Spice Boy era coming into football. Like, again, with the blonde tips. I remember distinctly where I was when Ronaldo signed for United. I was up doing swimming lessons for primary school, and somebody came into the dressing room and they were like, Juan Sebastian Veron signed for United. And they signed some other lad too. I think his name's something like Ronaldo. It's like, oh really? Yeah, he sounds great. And then the next time he makes his debut, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I need to get whatever he's having.
Yeah. He ripped United apart in the pre-season friendly for Sporting Lisbon that year with the same boots as well. But at this time, I was just obsessed with football boots, so I knew what every player wore. So when he rocked up with these at United, I was like, these are just the most amazing boots. But they were too expensive.
Way too expensive. You always had the knockoff versions.
Yeah.
Then obviously Cristiano Ronaldo is coming onto the scene. Brazilian Ronaldo is slowly disintegrating, easing his way out of the way of the new king of football, the new I don't know, what do you call him, mercurial player who's at the top of his game. He's done 2 knee injuries at this stage, so he's not at the top of his game anymore. 2004 Mercurial Vapors 2, essentially kind of the same, a little bit more stylish than.
They were slightly different. They had the ridges as well.
Yeah, they had the ridges for control.
Yeah.
Again, you have golden versions, you have blue versions, you have silver versions, whatever you want. Again, they switched back from longer studs to shorter, sort of plasticky studs instead of the metal ones from before. So that's obviously for speed. But this is probably ranked number 1 or number 2 in the terms of how good the boot looks.
Yeah, and it was just because the flashes of the ridges, I think. So the original ones, the ones from 2 years earlier, were so simple that they actually couldn't do much else with these number 2 version. So instead, they inserted the ridges around, and it made it look like a sturdier boot, like a more professional looking boot. There wasn't an awful lot of difference between the Vapor 1 and Vapor 2, which is why so many people bought both of them. It was actually quite clever from Nike, because it was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. People invested heavily in these boots. You also had a bit more of a contrast to the heel, which goes again for the next one. They were really nice. The gold versions of the Vapors too were amazing to look at.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
And this is the ones where you'll see Cristiano Ronaldo just doing step over after step over after step over and wondering, is he ever going to cross the ball? 2006, moving on quickly.
I had these.
Mercurial Vapors 3.
Unreal.
Aptly named. Whoever's working in the marketing department just kept it simple.
Don't change this, like, because that's why they were always known as the Vapors. When I was saying that to you, we got to do the Vapors. And you're talking about the Mercurials.
So these are the third versions of the Vapors. Again, they're looking for more speed. They go when you go for style-wise, they go back to almost the original styles of the Vapor, Mercurial Vapor. Very simple, straight boot, blue with a white Nike symbol. Dots at the back of the heel, which are the defining point of this boot for me. But scientifically wise, this is where sports science is starting to meet fashion, and they're starting to use different materials in their boots. It's not just leather boots anymore. They're using microfibers to make the boot more comfortable, make it lighter, and this is the lightest boot they've had since 1998. But it's also a class boot. I didn't have them, but I loved the yellow and green version of these, because you had the yellow and the green dots at the background coming through.
Yeah. The ones I got, this is when they start doing the contrasting colours more. Because in the Vapor 1 and 2, they were more or less just one dominant colour and then the tick. So the Vapor 3, I got a version where they were predominantly white and then the heel was red.
Yeah.
And the studs are red too. God. It was unreal. And they served me well for a long, long time, but they were never comfortable. I used to double sock when I wore the Vapors.
I still double sock.
Do you? I put a sock underneath, yeah. But like my own personal sock underneath the football club sock.
Did you go sock over sock or sock under?
No, sock under sock.
So you weren't a white sock over?
No, I didn't do that because then you're just literally asking to be fouled all the time.
See, that's what you start to see then. Instead of the tape, you see the white sock over
the sock, yeah.
Over the sock. And now, did you see the socks now? The professional football socks. So we're talking about double socking here and how we're getting into the real stuff now. So the socks nowadays only come as far as the heels.
Right.
Or as far as the ankle, sorry. So they stop. It's like a circular. It's almost like a sleeve that you could put on. And
that's part of the boot, though, isn't it?
You wear your own sock underneath.
Oh.
So it essentially stops people from double socking because that's what causes blisters.
Double socking causes blisters. I would have thought that having no protection causes blisters.
Thicker socks underneath. It depends what kind of sock you're wearing. We're saying the word sock so many times that I don't think it's a real word anymore. But it's basically the more moisture within your foot, the more chance you have you get a blister. So if you're wearing thick socks under another pair of thick socks, you're not a lot of air is getting in. That's what's going to cause blisters. And it's a rookie mistake, and I made it for years and years and years. I only discovered probably about 3 years ago that if you wear a pair of ankle socks underneath, it's much better.
Well, they were so much more comfortable by now, even in comparison to the first iteration 4 years earlier. So the Vapor 3s were like a luxury spa in comparison to the Vapor 1s, which were like you couldn't wear them.
Another point in this is not just the comfort, the ability to kick the ball hard. If you're playing with like a heavy size 5, it would have been mitra balls at that stage.
Yeah.
You felt it.
Yeah, you see, here's the thing also with the Vapors, and all of them, is that you never wore them for your touch. They're not a first touch boot.
No.
They're like, I'll get a half a yard in my man boot, and I'll do a lot of step overs, and I'll try and nutmeg a fella. And not even about scoring a goal, probably about assisting. Just like generally playing well, maybe assisting a goal here or there, but like basically a boot with like no responsibility. Like I'm not getting the ball in the middle of the park here.
You were on the wing to do a few skills.
You're a luxury player. Yeah. You're a complete luxury. The only player with responsibility that I remember that wore the Vapors and probably still does is Luka Modric, who's always wore the Vapors, whether it be with Spurs, Real Madrid, Croatia. Before
we finish off on these Vapors as well, Thierry Henry wore them.
Oh yeah, he destroyed Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Destroyed Liverpool at Highbury when the famous one where he scored twice, but one of them was he basically took on the whole Liverpool team when a crucial game on the way to winning the Invincible season, and they were the silver white versions of them of the twos. Oh.
Brilliant bit. Plus, both Ronaldo scored in these.
Oh yeah,
which is an interesting point. Well, maybe not that interesting. 2008, this is where... Can we just stop now? We could just stop now at 2008 because this is where the Mercurial Vapor SL comes in. Nike went back to their origins of trying to make the boot as lightweight as possible. And if you look at the differences that 10 years make, you said the first boot weighed 250 grams.
Yeah.
This boot weighed 185 grams. So you're shaving, 80 odd grams off the weight of your boot. It was made completely of carbon fibre. They've changed the boot completely. They changed the shape of the boot, more of a swerve in it. The Nike symbol is now on the tongue. It's a pink Nike symbol. There's a hard heel. It's grey. It's got weird sort of zigzags going through it, or stripes going through it even. It's horrible to look at.
Yeah, but that was the SL. That was all about Mark Parker, the CEO, took over in 2006 and challenged his team to create this outrageous boot with no budget restrictions, and that's what they came up with.
Almost like their ads. like we spoke about.
Yeah, but they didn't make these iconic. They just tried to make them different. I mean, look, you went through all the difference there in the technical aspect with the carbon fibre. But for me, it's all about how prominent and bigger the Nike tick is. It's right up the front now.
Well, that's
on the
it.
toes.
Yeah.
That's really where the Vapor's changed for me, is the kind of subtle Nike tick. The traditional size Nike tick on the side of the boot has now moved up to the front, and it's monstrous.
And I would say, and you're the one that's reading the Nike book,
Yeah.
The idea of this is probably that they realise that the front of the boot is seen more on TV than.
Oh, this is your yeah.
It's the same with the shorts. They moved the tick and the Adidas symbol and to the back of the shorts, so they realised that was on TV more. And with these type of players, Cristiano Ronaldo defined these boots for me as his run, because loads of people started running like Ronaldo, and that's with the toes up.
And the kind of upwards body, and yeah, very
so
professional. Like,
nobody runs like that, but people started running for about a year on their toes, thinking that was going to make them quicker.
Yeah, well, they probably were right, but it just wasn't done.
It wasn't done.
Like any trailblazer, you know.
To be fair, if you're not Ronaldo, you're not going to run faster.
Come on, to be some sort of way aspirational here.
But in 2008, they also brought out a second version,
Yeah.
which covers the laces.
Well, I was going to ask you, what's the difference? Yeah.
There's no real difference.
The difference, the laces.
It's the same boot. There's a red version with a gold tick, and they cover the laces. That's it. Same style, pretty ugly, not that comfortable. Yes, they might make you a little bit quicker, but that's about it. 2009, now we're going into the era of the Superfly. Good name.
The most uncomfortable boot in the world to wear, officially. More uncomfortable than the original Vapor from 2002.
I would say they deserve some plaudits for the name, though.
Superfly? Yeah. I know, it's fine. But it's like everything with the Vapors, the Vapor range and the Mercurial range, is that, you said credit for the name, credit for the look too. Always credit for the look. But wearing them, the practicalities of wearing them all year round, considering you're paying a premium price for them, you don't really get value for money.
Yeah.
Not with these Superflies. They have to look like truly iconic to get value for money.
Right, well, we don't have a lot more time, so we're going to run through these Superflies really quickly.
Superfly 2.
So, Superfly 2...
World Cup, 2010.
2010. It's in South Africa. So
Spain players.
They go for Spanish players wore these.
Everyone.
This is where you start seeing every player...
Everyone wore these
wearing the exact same boots.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why they get
Fabregas passed to Iniesta for the winning goal. Both wore these boots.
For those who don't know what these look like, think of a cheetah, except silver with a massive Nike symbol on it, essentially.
Yeah, and there was the fade from one colour into another halfway through. Yeah.
Yeah. The Superfly 3, I actually, to be honest, I don't remember these boots at all. They're black with almost checkers of bright yellow going through them. Small Nike symbol.
Yeah, they were limited, I think. Yeah.
I don't remember anybody wearing them. Maybe that's for a reason. Vapor, Nike Vapor, no, they came back with Vapors. They left the Superfly for a year in 2012.
Yeah, they weren't popular. Yeah. So they went back for the Vapor 8, right, 2012. I had these in a different colour that we're looking at right now.
Peach or mango.
Yeah, mango is what we're looking at now, which I don't remember. I had them in black, and the tick was yellow. Gabby Agbonlahor used to wear them for Aston Villa. And I don't know if you remember, but at that time, Gabby Agbonlahor was one of the most dangerous forwards in the Premier League. And I was thinking, they make him pretty fast.
Oh, this was around the time of Martin O'Neill's Aston Villa.
Yeah. So
Ashley Young would have wore these as well.
Yeah. So I wore them. I bought them.
They're actually, they're quite nice.
Very durable, actually.
Essentially, they look like the first Vapor in the Vapor 1, except the Nike tick is the big one on the tongue as opposed to the
definitely
one on
the
the
most.
side.
Yeah.
So they're actually they're not too
okay.
bad.
They served me well.
Then the Vapor come back again 2013.
They look like tempos, don't they?
They look very like tempos, and I would imagine that's why they weren't that popular. They put in an all-weather control, a little bit more grip. If you want to imagine it like the texture was almost like a golf ball, so it looked like it had many holes in it. I actually quite like these. They look good in the rain. The Nike symbol is back to the side as it should be. You could get black versions with a white tick, simple. The only thing about these is their tempos without the comfort and without the touch.
Yeah. But
so you're getting more uncomfortable boots that are less practical.
I'd get them because the tick looks class.
It does.
The tick looks unreal.
I do like the texture of the...
That's 3 ticks for me.
The golf ball as well. So...
I would buy them.
2014, the Superfly returns.
Superfly returns,
Massive return of the Superfly.
And what's the big difference?
The sock on the ankle.
So terrible.
It's awful.
And apparently these are really popular. These sold well.
Massive. They're massive. I remember a load of people.
Do you remember seeing people wearing them?
Yeah,
really?
A load of people. 2014, orange boots, massive, ugly Nike tick on the toe with a massive sock, like a huge sock. This sock is coming up right over your ankle.
What's the purpose of the sock?
Comfort.
Is it?
Comfort, and when people stand on your heels, the boot don't come off. But if the boot ever comes off, it's very tough to get it off.
Get back on in a match situation.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened here? The people who designed these boots obviously were watching the players who wore them in 2002 when they put all the ankle tape and all the socks up, and they were like, let's actually create a boot that mirrors that. I can't think of any other reason.
Look, I like the sock. Not on these boots, but on other boots. They are comfortable, and there's something about it just brings your foot and your leg together in some weird way that I can't really explain. That's where we stop going through the years. I picked out 2 of the newer versions.
Oh yeah.
The Nike Mercurial Vapor 13.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's a beautiful boot. It's a gorgeous boot. Black with a beautiful Nike silver.
I'm like circling what I like about it. I don't want to buy them.
It had "Just Do It" underneath the Nike slogan, and it's just simple. Again, they're very uncomfortable. They're very uncomfortable, but they only weighed 190 grams. So if you're looking for speed, these are the boots you want.
And it does help you with that placebo. Like we've been talking about this since the Preds up till now. That 5 to 7% extra, that placebo effect.
Yeah. That's all you want.
Makes you faster.
Then the Superfly 7 Elite FG.
Slight ankle sock.
Better ankle sock. Doesn't come up over your whole ankle. The only thing I don't like about these is the heel. So these are blue boots. They have a nice little kind of knitted texture.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
It's
must
knitted,
be
they're
nightmare to keep, to maintain.
I'd say so, but again, they're not practical. They're not supposed to be. They're just supposed to make you look good and feel faster, I suppose.
They do look good. They do look good.
I only found out this morning, about 5 days ago, Ronaldo / Nike announced the new Mercurial Dream Speed 2, which looks pretty similar to the Superfly 7 in terms of the texture, but there's not much change in these. It's
the Nike tips up. The Nike ticks further up.
Nike tick back on the toe.
Yeah.
We've got they're lime yellow with a green coming through it. If you think of it, it's almost like a lizard type skin, like a snake, and it's a fade from darker green into this lime yellowy, luminous yellow. They're fine.
Yeah, they're like every boot now.
Yeah.
You know, I'd hate to put them into that bracket, and I'm sure the people who designed them put a lot of effort into it. I'm sure they're under a lot of pressure. But, you know, if they brought that to me, I'd be like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's good, yeah. But, I mean, they're not going to blow me away. But my question for you is, you won't even be able to answer this question. Are we ever going to be blown away by boots again? Because can we? Like,
I think we can.
If I was a kid, those Superfly 7s would grab my attention immediately.
Yeah.
Especially if someone who I liked wore them on TV.
I do like window shopping for football boots.
Sometimes I'll do that. I'll just walk into a sports shop down the street and just go in and have a browse and think of what would I buy. But most of the boots there are the fake versions or the cheaper versions for like 50 quid. And I used to buy Astro boots quicker than I buy football boots now because I don't play for an 11-side team.
Yeah. See, I do enjoy a window shop. Even if I don't need anything, just go in, see what's happening.
When's the last pair of boots you bought?
Oh, it's 2 years ago.
And do you wear them now?
I still wear them.
What are they?
Well, as I said, I have 3 pairs of boots.
Yeah, that was established in episode 1.
I have a lovely pair of Adidas Copas.
Yeah.
They're black with the outskirts of the Adidas symbol are blue. And I have 2 pairs of, I want to say, what are they? Adidas. I'm not sure what you call the boot. It's a new version of the F50s anyway. Whatever they're called. I'll find out the name for.
You don't talk about them with any great love, I must say. It's like they're like practical boots that you just purchase.
Fine. I do like the Copas, and we're going to do the Copas. It's going to be the last episode of the Classic Book Club next week.
What about Total 90s?
Listen, I said I would give Total 90s their own episode, but I think
they're your favourite.
I've given Nike enough free advertisement.
We gave them 2, yeah.
The Nike ad episode was probably my favourite.
We've done 2 Adidas and 2 Nike.
2 Nike, technically 2 Nike. So we'll finish off with the Adidas Copas because that is the original. You know, that's the original boot.
Yeah.
And it's also the reason we're kind of doing this because somebody texted in to see if we could do an episode on the Copas, and that spurred the idea of doing an entire series on classic boots. But that's all we have time for this week. Colm, thanks very much.
Thank you.